Look, this auto bid system needs to go, or it needs to at least be very reformed. I look at the college football playoffs intentions like this. They want to be March Madness because March Madness in college basketball is a billion-dollar empire just by itself. No regular season, okay? They want to have that type of TV deal for the college football playoff. So what do they want? They want an expanded bracket. So if the group of 5 teams maybe start beating up on those elite teams, maybe people look at it and say, maybe more teams need to be in. Maybe we expand the bracket. Maybe we bring more games. I got news for you. The college football playoff will never be March Madness, ever. The bracket should not be expanded. You're just giving the big dogs more of a margin for error. You're giving some little guys that don't deserve to be in the opportunity to just get clobbered. Because the way football, the sport, is designed will not let that happen. Think of the way that football and basketball are each designed, okay? I'm using the March Madness model because this is what the college football playoff wants their setup to look like, okay? They want there to be an incentive to expand to 64 teams someday. I'm not saying it's going to be there soon, but if we keep going this pace, it could be there. They want that incentive so they can keep expanding and the public can be okay with it. So they want these upsets. But think of this, the way football is designed. If you are the more athletic team, if you are bigger and faster, you will probably win the game. If you are bigger and faster and you have better coaches, you'll definitely win the game. I've seen it happen in basketball where you have a bigger and faster, more athletic team who is much better coached and they lose. Because all of a sudden, this super athletic team with NBA talent just hit a cold slump. Got ice cold from 3. It happens. And this little guy, this 5'10" white guy, Doug Edert, for example, gets red hot from 3. Guys, I got news for you. There are no Doug Ederts in college football. College football is a place where the rich get richer. March Madness is beautiful and unique in itself because sometimes David can beat Goliath, and that's pretty freaking awesome. But you know what? In some cases, I want to turn on my TV and watch Goliath battle against another Goliath. I'd like to watch Goliath battle against Samson. And that's the beauty of college football. Because the way that football is designed, you're not going to have a team randomly just be faster than another team. The way basketball is designed, sometimes you can get a team that just gets red hot from 3, and some team just goes ice cold for no reason. It doesn't matter how athletic and fast you are. So JMU and Tulane obviously did not belong. This system is an incredible major disservice to Notre Dame, to Vanderbilt, and to Texas. Major disservice. Because you're giving JMU and Tulane a massive margin for error while having 5 auto bids. Look, if the playoff was done by me, it would look very different. And that's a conversation for another day. But at least you got to shorten the auto bids. At least shorten them. Because this is obviously too much. Now, I'm not going to go into the extreme and say that group of 5 teams don't deserve to have a shot. Boise State last year, for example, they deserve to get in. You could easily make that case. Their one loss was to Oregon on the road, where they actually outgained them and lost because Oregon had a kick return. So they're a group of 5 teams that in some cases deserve to be in. But you can't make a system where you have these types of teams getting in over teams like Notre Dame and Vanderbilt and Texas, who would have made these games really close at the very least and had better resumes, most importantly. So I'm not going to sit in that extreme. Group of 5 teams do deserve to have a shot. But we got to change this system. Because college football will never be March Madness. College basketball is about David beating Goliath, and it creates this sort of chaos that you don't know, because in some cases, that ball just doesn't go in that hoop. You'll never get a college football team who randomly decides to be less fast, because that just won't ever happen.